M. Varaprasad, HOD CSC, DBS IT, Kavali. Now this is the second video which is regarding the computer organization subject and the memory system. In that memory system, last class we discussed about the fundamentals of or basic concepts of the memory system and then read only memories. In that fundamentals, how we are extracting the words from the memory to the processor, and then how we are loading the words to the processor. We discussed all the things, and then we discussed the ROM, read only memories, and different types of read only memories are also available. Those are the primary memory contents. In that, ROM is also the non-volatile primary memory. Now today we are discussing about the RAM, random access memories. Random access memories we are discussing. Here the topic name is semiconductor random access memories. Random access memories are prepared by using the semiconductors like capacitors, transistors, etc. Random access memory is a volatile memory. What is actually the volatile memory means? Whenever the power is switched off, the contents available in the volatile memory are lost. In these semiconductor RAMs, now we discussed about the internal organizations of the chips and then different types of RAMs. Now coming to the internal organization of the chip, in that internal organization, the cells are organized in the array fashion. Every bit is a flip-flop and it is organized like a two-dimensional array. Now in that two-dimensional array, every row is a word. Every row is a word. In that word, for example, if we are using a 4-bit decoder, now we can store 16 different types of words. 16 different types of words we can store by using the 4-bit decoder. Now we will see how the diagram is. Now here, this is the address decoder. Here 4 bits are there. In that 4 bits, the W's are the every word. Now here the words are one word capacity is the 8 bits. Here one cell can store the 1 bit of information. Now here each cell is the one flip-flop. It can store 1 bit of information. Now coming to the row, it is a word. Coming to the column, now some groups are there. What is actually the group mean? By using this column, here some selection or status flags are there. Now one is actually the write and sense circuit. Now these are used to store the information into the cell as well as extract the information from the cell. Now this is the internal representation of the RAM memory system, which is especially like a 2x2 array. Here we finished the first subtopic, that is internal computer, so internal organization of the memory chips, and then we are starting the second subtopic, that is a static memories. Okay, coming to the static random access memories. Now these are high speed memories and prepared by using the transistors. Now what is the drawback of these transistors, sir? It kept the state as it is whenever the power is supplied. Whenever the power is switched off only, the state is maintained, the state is loosed. Now that's why it maintains the state as it is whenever the power supply is there. Now so it is also powerful memories, but these are the high cost memories. Now these are called the SRAM, static random access memories. In this one, the transistors are high. Transistors require the high cost. For that purpose, now we are using less types of this one. Here, the diagram shows a static RAM cell. Here, transistors are used. These transistors kept the state as it is whenever the power supply is there. Whenever the power supply is switched off only, the state is not kept. Here we finished the two subtopics: internal organizations of the memory chips as well as static memories. Now we are coming to the dynamic random access memories. In that, why we are called this dynamic random access memories means here we are using capacitors to store the every bit of information. Here the capacitors will refresh some amounts of microseconds every time. For that purpose, we are calling this one as a dynamic random access memories. Here comes to the dynamic random access memories. Two types of dynamic random access memories are available. They are asynchronous and synchronous. Here comes to the asynchronous dynamic random access memories. Why these are called asynchronous means? Now these are not compensated or not synchronized with the clock rate. Why these are not synchronized means clock rates are different from the refreshed rate of the capacitors. Now for that purpose, these are called the synchronous dynamic random access memories. And coming to the asynchronous dynamic random access memories, now these are synchronized with the clock rate. Now for this synchronized with the clock rate, they are adjusted the clock rate to synchronize with the capacitor's refresh rate. For that purpose, these are the synchronized dynamic random access memories. Now we will show one bit how the bit of dynamic random access memories are there in the following figure. Now this is the single cell dynamic random access memory. Single cell of the dynamic access memory. Here we are using the capacitor for the purpose of this one. Now this is the asynchronous dynamic random access memory diagram. Here some decoders are there, as well as memory cell array is there, and then sense write circuits are there, column decoders are there. Now these are the here what is actually the previous one and this one is here the capacitors we are using. For using the capacitors we are refreshing every time, and this is not coordinated with the previous one. Now this is the diagram for synchronous dynamic random access memory. Here we are using additionally synchronization process with the clock. In that the same things are there, row address latch is there, row decoders are there, cell array is there, and then read write circuits are there. But here some synchronization technique is there. By using the synchronization technique, the synchronization is performed with the clock rate. Here we finished internal organization, static memories, asynchronous dynamic random access memories, synchronous dynamic random access memories, and coming to the double data rate SDRAM. Okay, in the double data rate SDRAM, transistors are used in the static memories. Double data rate is performed. Normally, we are retrieving and we are storing the data in the memories. But here, what is actually the double data rate means? we are storing the one type of data as well as we are reading the same thing. This way we are providing double data rate. Now here some mechanism is used to maintain the double data rates. Now this is the fifth subtopic in the dynamic RAMs. Now coming to the last one is, here the last topic is RAM bus memory. Now coming to the RAM bus memory, it is especially used to increase the data rate of reading as well as the writing. Now what is actually the data rate reading and the data rate writing means? Now parallel lines of buses are used to read the data from the memory, and that data is stored in the processor. Now what is actually the RAM bus memory means? Now to increase the data rate, we have to provide additional lines for the buses. Now if you provide the additional lines for the buses means, now it will increase the size and it is unable to store in the motherboard. Now for that purpose, this memory is used, this RAM bus memory is used without enlarging or without improving the parallel lines. This RAM bus memory can provide the quick rates of reading and quick rates of storing. Now this is the RAM bus memory. Okay, here we discussed the semiconductor RAM memories. Here the subtopics are internal organizations of the memory chips, static memories, asynchronous DRAMs, synchronous DRAMs, double data rate SDRAMs, and RAM bus memory. Here we discussed about the every cell organization in SRAM as well as the DRAM, and also internal representation of the memory chips. And what is actually the RAM means? Now these are the random access memories. Random access memories means we can perform only accessing here. Now these are also volatile memories. What is actually the volatile memory means? Whenever the power is switched off, the contents available in the memory are lost. Now those are called the volatile memories. Now in volatile memories, RAM is the primary memory, which now RAM is used to store the internal data of the memory. From today's class, we finished basic concepts as well as random access memories and read-only memories. Now in the future classes, we will discuss about the remaining subtopics of the memory system. Now, okay, that's all for now. Stay home and stay safe. The lockdown also extended to the 3rd May. Thank you.